visual in a minute. So, the car is dirty. This weather sucks though, so I haven't washed it in a little minute. So, yeah, so let's get into this video, and then I'm gonna tell you guys what the new news is for the channel. There's a few things going on, so stay tuned. Don't see those anymore. I think that's a 9.3 Arrow, not Arrow, but a 9.3. I think they're a little miles with the Arrow. You really don't see those. And I thought that was an interesting color on the Lexus. It's an interesting color on the car, period. That was an interesting color on the Lexus. Hey guys, I really wanted to talk about me. In my opinion, how Ferrari actually dropped the ball and how they dropped the ball big time. So, okay, I know people aren't going to agree with me. I know some people might be looking at me and listening to me thinking that I sound kind of crazy, but I'm going to get into why and how Ferrari dropped the ball and how this car actually kind of shows how, along with the Quattroporte V. Yeah, so how Ferrari dropped the ball, guys. How Ferrari dropped the ball, okay, is by not making more cross-plane crank engines. Now, why do I say that? Okay. Ferrari, one thing about Ferrari, okay, if you're into Ferraris, you don't even have to own one to really know about this if you're really into Ferraris. I moved away so you guys can hear me better. That Ferrari, okay, the best thing on a Ferrari, the best thing about a Ferrari is the engine. Okay, that's like the only thing on a Ferrari that doesn't really need correction. All right. When I say correction, I mean that if you're in the Ferrari or if you ever want to own a Ferrari, so you research Ferraris, then you already know that the paint on Ferraris 9 times out of 10 sucks. The interior on Ferraris is, I mean, they're Fiat parts, you know, Alfa Romeo parts, you know, interior wise, and then trickle down into cars like this, cars like the Quattroporte, and then other Ferrari models that probably don't cost as much. They trickle down in those cars too, you know. But you do see, from what I hear, you do have a lot of Fiat parts. But regardless of that, how Ferrari really dropped the ball, guys, is really by not making more of these engines. Let me actually open up the hood. Well, I'm not gonna do that in this video because I don't know. The hood latch on this car is kind of funny. It's somebody put it in the comment section. If you have to. For some reason, when I open my hood latch, right, it opens regular, but when I close it, it's like I have to, I think, re-release the hood latch or close the hood latch, something like that. Something I have to do really weird with the hood latch, and then the hood closes. Now, tell me if that's normal, or tell me if you're just supposed to shut it and it closes. You're not supposed to do anything, or if you're supposed to like after you open it, move the latch back so it closes. I don't know. That's what mine does. That's why I'm not really feeling opening it. It's kind of funny doing a video about an engine and not seeing an engine, but you really don't have to see the engine for this. You really don't, because really it's about the sound, and that's where my point is going. Okay. Now I've heard quite a few Ferraris in my lifetime. If you guys have been watching the vlogs, and you guys know that we go out to the Hamptons, we virtually see every kind of Ferrari, from a Testarossa, a Dino, to a 458, 488, a F8, a LaFerrari, so like on this channel, I'm pretty sure I got the Dino and I got a Testarossa in one of the videos over the summertime, if you guys want to go check that out. But like I said, guys, we pretty much see every kind of supercar out there, old, new. And here's how I say they really didn't drop the ball. I mean, they really dropped the ball, is because I heard a Lamborghini Gallardo, guys. I wasn't really impressed. I could tell it was stock. Okay, I wasn't really impressed. Now, you do an exhaust on cars, they sound amazing. Okay, but stock-wise, I wasn't really too impressed. Now, V12 is something different. Okay, but I've also heard, like I said, quite a few Ferraris. I've heard the 348 out there. I've heard the Dino. I've heard the Testarossa. What else? I've heard the 308. I don't think I've seen a 328. Haven't seen a 355. No, I didn't see a 355, but it wasn't rolling. 355 was in somebody's garage, so I did see the 355. But most, like I said, guys, most of the sought after Ferraris, I mean, we've seen F8s out there and 458s. I mean, that's, new stuff. I'm talking about old stuff. But, I've heard Ferraris pass by, and I've heard people even out there driving Ferraris and getting on them pretty hard. Now, guys, I didn't tell you about a story. One day when we were out there, and I didn't get to click the camera on, but I did get to play keep up with a 250 GT E or C. It was the first four-seater Ferrari. Okay, I'm gonna go into a story time about that, how that came to be, because that was actually pretty crazy. Like, for car guys, like that was pretty crazy. And how this whole thing was, that was the first four-seater Ferrari, and this is the Grand Touring Maserati. Like, it was really, I really wish I would have had the camera on for that moment, but I'm gonna get into a story time about that later, and I got a picture for the car for you guys, so you guys can see what that car looked like. But that was, that model of Ferrari was Enzo's personal favorite to drive, I think, on the street. I think that became one of his personal favorite production model, not race car model, production model at the time. Okay, but yeah, we did see that car. I did see that car. Played keep up with it in back roads. Again, I'll get into that story later. But again, how Ferrari dropped the ball, guys. They really didn't make any cross-plane crank engines outside of the Gran Turismo and the Quattroporte V. That's why I urge you guys really to get one if you want one, because the prices on these will go up. Do not expect them to stay this low, okay? Do not expect them to stay this low, especially when my generation starts to hit their stride and they prime. Trust me, these cars are going to go up. Do not think that these cars are going to sit at these if you're an owner, scary prices that they're at, but don't think that they're going to sit there, because they won't. I'm telling you, grab one now. Quattroporte V, you want one, grab one now, because guys, there's really no other cars that sound like this on the street stock wise. That's my point, okay? Like I said, I've heard virtually most of the popular Ferraris, a lot of the older popular Ferraris. Until you hit, until you step on it and you get on it and you get into the high revs, you don't really hear Ferraris to the degree that you hear them in the high revs, okay? So, in the low end sound, if I had to put the Maserati and the Ferrari next to each other and hit the gas, low end, the Maserati is probably going to drown the Ferrari out. Okay? Now high end, the Ferrari's gonna scream. I wouldn't know that. But low end, like I said, is gonna drown it out. And I think that Ferrari and Maserati, right, really could have made a Hellcat type of vehicle out of this car. You know, I really do believe that. You know, they could have, if Maserati, if Ferrari really wasn't, I don't know, I guess trying to restrict Maserati to a point, or trying to make them into a luxury brand, turn it into a luxury brand more so. And I'm not saying that they weren't a luxury brand prior, but turning it into a luxury division of Ferrari, I think that along with the engines, like, this is a great sounding engine and exhaust combination. It just is. You know, anybody who tells you, anybody who drives one will tell you that it's just a great combination. And for them to drop the ball and not make, you know, higher trims, even at the MC, you know, bringing the car to 600, 700 horsepower, you know, and considering that they will, the engines themselves are very limited, you know, so there's not many of those engines made, you know, and it's not. And as these cars get crashed, totaled, catch fire, what else have you, you know, there's less that are going to survive, you know. So I think that, you know, as great as that engine and that exhaust combination sound, you know, is Ferrari, just, you know, they really could have did a lot more, pumped a lot more horsepower into that engine. You know, did a few different versions, you know, of a high horsepower version of that engine, you know. Really, I really think, because, you know, they didn't want to probably make Maserati, you know, they didn't want to make Maseratis faster than Ferrari. But the thing was with this car, and the thing with the Quattroporte V, is that they sounded so good, you know. And that's the thing, like, I was very surprised, guys, to hear, okay, the Gallardo, and feel like I have one up on the Gallardo, or to see a 458, or, you know, a 488, and at low revs, you know, this car sounds better. It's kind of crazy to me, you know, and it is. Now, I will say, you know, high revs, yeah, Ferrari got it. V12 Lamborghini got it. Gallardo with a custom exhaust got it. You know, well, maybe, I don't know. I can't even say they all have it. I really haven't heard them in person, but from the videos, you know, I would have to say yeah, because, you know, they aftermarket, of course, they're going to be a little bit louder. But stock-wise, I really don't know what car is really competing with this car. If you guys can tell me, you know, what car in the price range when it was new, and price range used, what car exhaust-wise can compete with it? You know, you guys tell me. Because even new stuff coming out now, okay, the new stuff that's dropping now, the Hellcats, the McLarens, like even McLarens, I've heard plenty of McLarens. I can't say that the McLarens sound better than this. And I can't, you know, the only cars that I really can say sound better than this, guys, out the box, well, there's nothing in this price range. Up to 150, I'm still 150, 160, 150, I think that's what this car retailed at. I still can't figure out anything that sounded that good for 150. Okay, even the GT3 Porsche, the Lexus LFA, they all cost more than that. So for 150, you know, unless you're talking about that F-Type, which I love that car. You know, that car was supposed to be on the channel, guys. I'll admit that is the reason why we're looking at Aston Martin, because I couldn't fit in the Jag. Okay, so don't think that I slept on the Jag F-Type owners. I definitely know, you know, that Jag is nothing to play with. I just, you know, leg room wise, it's just, I can't do it, you know. So, but yeah, that's really why I think, you know, Ferrari dropped the ball on this car, man. They really should have just, after they heard how good this car sounded, I really think they just should have, you know, got off the biasness and got off of, you know, trying to put more into Maserati and just did it, because the engine sounds so good. You know, the exhaust sound, the car sounds so good. Like, if you guys never heard one of these cars in person, you really should go hear it. You know, and you should. It sounds like a car with a custom exhaust on it, and it doesn't have one. You know, like in the last video, I don't know if in the last video, had a cop pull up, and the police pulled up next to us and commented on the exhaust. So it sounds like I'm going 200 miles an hour, but I'm doing like 20. That's what I'm saying, guys. This car is loud. So if you guys are into loud exhaust, definitely go pick one up, go hear one, go listen to one. But definitely, that's how Ferrari dropped the ball to me. They should have made more cross-plane crank engines, okay? And they should have beefed this engine up a little bit. The fact that this engine is around 450, 440, whatever it is sitting at. Somebody put in the comment section what the actual horsepower of this car is, because I've been going about 15 different websites. I've seen different numbers, from 430 to 440 to 450. I've seen 460. I've even seen some people say 4.3s only had 400 or 390. I don't know what it is. So put it in the comment section what you actually think the horsepower of this car is, the real horsepower of this car is, the real horsepower of the MC is, American MC, the real horsepower of the European MC, the real horsepower of the European MC with no back seats. Okay? Put it in the comment section what you think that is. But they did drop the ball, guys. I'm sorry. Ferrari really did. They should have put more into this engine, more horsepower into the engine. They should have made more cross-plane crank, maybe Ferraris. I'm not sure. I want to say Ferraris, but Ferraris have a signature sound. But I guess they should have made more Maserati coupes than, like, they should have made more. I don't know, guys. Like I said, if you hear it, the car is so. The car sounds so crazy that you just go, wow, like, why didn't they make more of these? Why didn't they, I don't know, guys. That's why I say, if you guys, if you want one, go pick one up. If you have one, try to hold on to it. This car is definitely a future legend. Definitely a future classic. If you can, but if you, definitely a future legend, definitely a future classic, guys. So, hold on to it. If you have one, you don't have one, pick one up before the prices go through the roof, because eventually they will. I am a thorough believer of that. I'm also with the Cars Report TV, guys. If you want to hear my opinion on the values of these cars and when they're gonna go check the other videos that I got on the channel. But yeah, guys, that's really what I wanted to talk about today. God, this car looks good. I even think that Ferrari should have just kept ownership of Maserati and just made like big coupes like this. And I do. I really think they should have just kept. Maserati really should have just been a division of Ferrari at this point. As much as I love Maserati, I think that they sound a lot. The sound was a lot better in the Ferrari. If you guys have seen the new Gran Turismo, and you guys heard the way the new Gran Turismo sounds, put it in the comment section what you guys think. I personally think it's no comparison. That new Gran Turismo just certified this one as a classic. It certified this one as a legend. Everything I said, I believe, is going to come true about these three-way collaboration cars, how they're going to be extremely rare, okay? And how a lot of you guys are going to miss out if you don't listen, man. I'm telling you. One day, I thoroughly believe, okay, that this car, okay, will be, well, I don't really know where the value's gonna go, guys. I just believe it's not gonna sit there. There's too much car for on the used market. Right now, it's just way too much car. It just is. Again, the guy who drove it for 10,000 miles roughly in a year and a half on his car, I'd buy this car twice. I'd buy it again. Okay, that's how much. You guys see me vlogging with his first car that got me vlogging. But yeah, guys, I would buy this car twice. I really think that the Ferrari, man, they should have made more cross-plane crank engines, man. They should have made more muscle car type, sounding cars, and just, it really showed to me that they could do more than just a high-pitched sound, and they could really do this sound well, and they could do this well, Yeah, so put it in the comment section what you guys think. Hit that like, share, subscribe button for me. Join the video so P-Cub. Turn on all post notifications for me. And we're out, guys. I'm going to catch you in the next video. All right.